The story begins in ancient Rome, where an architect named Lucius is struggling to innovate and earn a living. His clients constantly reject his ideas, dismissing them as outdated. One day, a friend takes him to a public bathhouse to relax. However, Lucius finds the environment unbearable, filled with loud, naked people. Overwhelmed, he submerges himself underwater. While underwater, he notices a small whirlpool forming at the other end of the tub. As he approaches to investigate, he is suddenly pulled into a strong current. Moments later, he emerges in a tunnel-like place, gasping for air. To his astonishment, Lucius surfaces in a modern Japanese bathhouse filled with elderly men who are shocked to see him standing naked before them. Unfamiliar with their appearance, Lucius assumes they are members of a flat-faced tribe. Once he overcomes his initial shock, he begins to marvel at the advanced bathhouse. The baskets, taps, and massaging devices astound him, and he regrets not thinking of such innovations himself. His curiosity leads him to accidentally enter the women's changing room, where he is knocked unconscious by a screaming elderly woman. Meanwhile, a struggling manga artist named Mami notices Lucius. Inspired by his peculiar appearance, she begins sketching his portrait. When Lucius regains consciousness, he is handed a bottle of flavored milk, which amazes him with its sweet and cold taste. Overwhelmed, he faints again. When Lucius wakes up, he finds himself back in Rome, surrounded by concerned bathhouse patrons who claim he had nearly drowned. Initially convinced that his encounter with the flat-faced tribe was a dream, he notices the empty milk bottle beside him, confirming the experience was real. 2 months later, Lucius proposes new innovations for the Roman bathhouse, incorporating ideas from his time travel adventure. His upgrades, such as massage booths, baskets, and sweet milk, are a huge success, earning him both wealth and acclaim. One day, while relaxing in the bathhouse, he overhears an old man wishing for a private bathhouse at home. As Lucius contemplates the challenge, he is once again pulled by a mysterious current and transported to the 21st century. This time, Lucius finds himself in a modern bathtub. A man enters and asks him for help bathing, introducing Lucius to modern tools like shower heads and shower caps. Coincidentally, the house belongs to Mami, who discovers Lucius unconscious on the floor. She rushes to grab her sketchbook, but when she returns, he has vanished. Back in Rome, Lucius designs a home bathtub for the old man, gaining further recognition and fortune. Despite his success, his wife is dissatisfied, longing for a child and frustrated by Lucius's constant work. Their argument ends with her cursing him and storming out. One day, Lucius is summoned by a messenger of Emperor Hadrian, known for his ruthlessness. Intrigued by Lucius's innovations, the emperor commissions him to create an extraordinary personal bathhouse. Determined to impress the emperor, Lucius searches for inspiration but finds none. Frustrated and embarrassed, he falls into a ditch and disappears once again. In modern Japan, Mami is now working at a bathroom supply store to make ends meet. One afternoon, she accidentally overfills a bathtub, and Lucius appears in the bubbling water. Shocked but curious, Lucius marvels at the advancements, including urinals, printed toilet paper, and bidets, which he finds particularly heavenly. Mami, unable to understand his language, shows him around the store, and Lucius observes everything with fascination. Armed with new ideas, Lucius returns to Rome and designs the ultimate bathhouse for the emperor. It features a self-cleaning toilet, a bubbling tub powered by slaves, a glowing aquarium, and scented candles. The emperor is thrilled and rewards Lucius with a unique necklace featuring a bizarre sculpture of dog legs and human genitals. Excited to share his success, Lucius rushes home to his wife, only to find her in bed with his best friend. In the future, Mami returns to her small hometown after repeatedly failing to come up with ideas for a successful manga and losing her side jobs. She begins working at a local bathhouse while studying ancient Roman history. The coin she received from Lucius and his mysterious disappearance continue to intrigue her, sparking her curiosity about whether he was truly from the past. Meanwhile, in ancient Rome, Lucius has fallen into despair after his wife leaves him for his best friend. One day, he is approached by a messenger worried about Emperor Hadrian. The emperor, grieving the recent loss of his son, has become convinced that a crocodile is his son's reincarnation. He tasks Lucius with designing a habitat to care for the animal, warning that if anything happens to it, Lucius will be held responsible and declared a national criminal. While inspecting the emperor's bathhouse for water flow issues, Lucius is once again pulled into the future. This time, he finds himself inside a crocodile sanctuary, surrounded by the creatures. Coincidentally, Mommy is visiting the sanctuary with a date she dislikes. Delighted to see Lucius in the cage, she rescues him and gives him a tour of the sanctuary, quickly forgetting about her unwanted companion. Lucius learns about the proper care and habitat requirements for crocodiles. To confirm her growing suspicion about Lucius's origins, Mommy takes him to an archery range. Lucius's perfect accuracy convinces her he is indeed a Roman. Later, he inadvertently steps into a hot spring and is transported back to his time. A few months later, Lucius presents the emperor with a flawless habitat for the crocodile, earning the emperor's admiration and frequent invitations to the palace. However, the peace is short-lived as news arrives of an ongoing rebellion against the emperor's rule. The conflict drags on for over a year, leaving the aging emperor ready to retire. He plans to pass the throne to his nephew Sionius, who intends to build a new bathhouse as his first project to gain public favor. The emperor tasks Lucius with assisting Sionius, but Lucius's principles clash with Sionius's arrogance and pride. Believing that Sionius's leadership will lead to Rome's downfall, Lucius refuses the commission despite threats of execution for treason. Desperate to escape the emperor's wrath, he seeks help from a fellow architect but is met with hostility. During a heated argument, Lucius is pushed into a well and vanishes once more. Lucius awakens in the future among the Flat-Faced tribe, who care for his injuries using modern methods. They take him to a hot spring for its healing properties and offer him fermented alcohol, which leaves him intoxicated. Mommy, now fluent in basic Latin, approaches Lucius and asks for his name. Drunk, he collapses onto her, and the two fall into the lake, only to reappear in ancient Rome. Mommy is amazed to find herself in Lucius's world, but her joy is short-lived when she learns Lucius is to be executed for defying the emperor. Despite her pleas, Lucius refuses to compromise his principles. Fearing for his life, he leaves the city with his belongings. Meanwhile, in the future, a group of elderly men searching for Mommy accidentally falls into a lake and is transported to ancient Rome. Lucius, wandering through the countryside, discovers a natural hot spring on a hill. Remembering the kindness of the Flat-Faced tribe, he realizes the spring could aid the emperor's wounded soldiers. Lucius rushes to Mommy with his idea, and she agrees to help. Together, they present the plan to the emperor, crediting the idea to Antonius, another heir to the throne who is more capable than Sionius. The emperor permits the construction of the spring, and Lucius, Mommy, and the Flat-Faced tribe work together to build a healing sanctuary. Over time, the spring becomes a refuge for soldiers, complete with modern medical techniques taught by the tribe. The soldiers recover and eventually defeat the rebels, celebrating their victory with drinking and dancing. During the celebration, Lucius and Mommy share a quiet moment, realizing their deep affection for each other. However, their happiness is fleeting as the Flat-Faced tribe mysteriously disappears, and Mommy begins to vanish as well. Before she fades completely, she reassures Lucius that there are always ways to find each other. In the final scenes, the emperor appoints Antonius as his advisor and awards Lucius for his contributions to the empire. Meanwhile, in the future, Mommy starts anew. One day, while walking through the city, she sees Lucius emerging from a pond. The story ends as the two are reunited, hinting at a new beginning.